So in 2024, I saw 18 movies, which is so crazy because 2024 was literally the most movies I've ever seen in my entire life. And what I mean as in like the amount of movies I've seen in the cinema in 1 year. That's crazy, fam. 18 movies is nothing to like movie reviewers, but obviously I'm only beginning my journey. You know, I started back in 2024. So yeah, man. So yeah, in this video, I'll be ranking all the movies I saw from worst to best. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, fam. It was kind of a hard one in a way, you know, I can't lie. But anyways, enough said. Let's go, man. Number 18, The Fall Guy. So The Fall Guy is basically like a Hollywood related film where, you know, it focuses, I guess, on the Hollywood industry about stuntmen and stuff. Honestly, I could be wrong. It's one of those movies I just did not care about, if I'm being honest with you, which is why I didn't review it on my channel, because I just didn't really know how to talk about this movie. It was just so boring. I just didn't really understand it properly. It was lame in my opinion. You got some popular actors like Emily Blunt and, you know, Ryan Gosling. Overall, it was just such a weird movie. Like, I feel like it was kind of mixed with that romance, a bit of action. I'm not gonna like stand here and pretend that I know what the movie was really about, because I really didn't, if I'm being honest. But that's why as an 18, it was just kind of just trash and boring to me. Number 17, The Exorcism. So The Exorcism was one of those movies that I went into blind, essentially meaning as in like I didn't know what to expect. It was one of those premieres where you didn't know what the movie was going to be, so it was like a mystery movie. I was hoping it was something else. I can't remember what movie I was hoping it would be, but then it ended up being this movie and I was like, what the hell is this crap? And honestly, I was contemplating whether I should leave the cinema when I was watching it. I was like, do I really want to watch like an exorcism movie? Because personally for me, I'm not really into the whole exorcist movies. It's just kind of just lame and just boring and just same old, same old. Don't get twisted, I love horror, but exorcism stuff, nah. In this movie, you got a guy who's basically like an actor and he just keeps messing up his lines. He's got like things going on in his brain, like we don't know what really is going on inside his head, but then it slowly builds up to where you're just thinking like, what the hell is going on with this guy? And that's where the supernatural stuff kicks in and comes in it. It was very like boring to me. I just didn't really care about, honestly, like, you know, supernatural, exorcism. If you've seen like exorcism films, you probably know what to expect from this type of film. And honestly, I didn't really understand this film too much for myself. So once again, I'm not going to really, you know, stand here and pretend that I knew what this movie exactly was about in it. So yeah. Number 16, Furiosa Mad Max Saga. So Furiosa was a movie I actually did hear about back in the days, like Mad Max in it. I heard that the word Mad Max a lot. I wasn't really expecting it to be good, and as I expected, it wasn't a movie that I loved. I thought the character Furiosa was just cringe and boring and just wasn't cool in my opinion. And it's just one of those movies where I was just sitting there thinking like, when's this movie gonna end already? And once again, it's just one of those movies where it's so hard to really explain, but it is a prequel to the original Mad Max movie. And yeah, essentially focuses on the character Furiosa in it, so I never saw the original Mad Max movie in it, so I can't really comment on that movie. But in this movie in particular, it gets it's really boring to me. Like, it's in the desert all the time. Like, if we're talking about the visual is very good. It's very like appealing to look at, but it kind of just got a bit repetitive for me, where all I was seeing was just the desert. I'm like, oh man, is this it, man? But then again, I wasn't expecting too much from this movie, so you know, I kind of knew it was going to be boring, at least for me anyway. Number 15, Red One. So Red One was a movie that came out around, I think, October or November or whatever, back in 2024. And obviously in this movie, you've got J.K. Simmons playing, you know, Santa Claus, who gets kidnapped. You have like Chris Evans' character and The Rock's character trying to find out, you know, who took, you know, Santa Claus and stuff, which is, it was just corny, man, honestly, man. Around 2 hours for a movie like that, like, come on, man, come on. And honestly, I saw this movie with my friends in it, so you know how it is. The vibe is more better when you're watching movies with your friends in it. And yeah, man, there was just some funny scenes where it had me dying, man. It was so hilarious. That's why I kind of ranked it higher. The comedy part made it, you know, good enough to where I was like, you know what? I need to rank it a little bit higher. Number 14, Joker 2. Joker 2 was possibly one of the worst DC films I've ever seen in my entire life. Who actually thought that making it a musical was going to be a good idea? Because I'm telling you right now, that itself ruined it, the whole musical part. If you've seen my review on it, you kind of know what I thought about this movie, and it just was not good to me, man. Number 13, Afraid. So Afraid is a movie about a family that get to test out this new AI device. And essentially that the AI device, whatever it's called, it gets smart over time. It learns people's patterns. And then over time, it starts to become more smarter, more dangerous. It kind of makes people do things by, I guess, blackmailing them. And yeah, it's one of those like cliche, typical AI movies. It wasn't like terrible, but it wasn't great either. So Yeah, that's it. Number 12, The Strangers Chapter 1. So yeah, The Strangers Chapter 1 is like a remake, I think, from the first Strangers that came out back in like the early 2000s. Essentially follows the same storyline in the first early 2000s one. But then you just have these characters that just make the dumbest choices ever, and it just makes you just constantly just scratch your head. Nothing was really happening. It was like a lot of like dead space in the movie. Number 11, Beetlejuice. So Beetlejuice was a movie that I heard about back in the days, in it, but I never actually watched it. You know, I kind of expected it to be what it was, you know, the goofy elements of horror, like family friendly horror where a lot of goofy stuff, the CGI is a bit goofy. I saw it once by myself, and the second time I saw it with my friend. The first time I saw it, I was like, this is just kind of just not for me. I just didn't really like it that much. I can't lie, I felt like the second time when I watched it, I was like, you know what, this is actually okay though. It's not a movie that I'll probably ever watch again. I kind of enjoyed it more the second time watching it, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Number 10, Venom Last Dance. So Venom 3 was a movie where I never seen the previous two Venoms, so I was going to this, I guess you could say, blind. But the reason why I didn't watch the previous films is because it just looked really corny. It wasn't a movie that I thought was really good in my opinion, especially how it was like rated 12 plus. There's a lot of like things going on in terms of action wise. I don't know, I don't really know what to say about this movie. Like, it's just one of those movies where it's like a fun movie, but you don't really take it too seriously, because I'll be honest, the jokes were really corny, and yeah man. But it was alright, it was alright, you know what I mean? I don't know what else to say, but yeah. Near the ending, I had to go to the toilet, so I ended up missing like some of the ending in it, but my friend basically summarized the rest of the movie for me. But I saw pretty much all the movie though, so yeah. Number 9. So Bad Boys 4 was a movie that I actually kind of looking forward to watching, because I was actually going to watch it with my friend. And yeah man, I had a good time watching this movie. You know, prior to this movie, I was watching all the other previous Bad Boy films leading up to the Bad Boys 4 in it. And also I did like a rankings for all the Bad Boy films in it, and still to this day, number 3 is my favorite. That was a banger film fam. But yeah man, this movie was pretty good. You know, the jokes wasn't as great as our previous films. The storyline was kind of like meh, but I did enjoy the action. I've always liked Will Smith mainly more back in the day, but it was nice to see him again, because nowadays I haven't really seen much of like Will Smith's movies in it, because I'm not really digging his, you know, current movies that he makes, because this is not really for me. And obviously my man Reggie was killing it in this movie. You gotta love Reggie in it. But yeah man, it was a decent movie man, decent movie. Number 8, Kraven the Hunter. I actually enjoyed this movie a lot. I thought the action was very good, exciting. And when I'm ranking these movies, I'm judging it based on if I enjoyed it or not if it's objectively a good movie, you know what I'm saying? I'm just judging it based on my opinion. If I thought, you know, whilst watching a movie, did I enjoy it or did I not? I could acknowledge the fact that objectively it probably wasn't great, but subjectively, at least for me, I really enjoyed it. Number 7, The Watch. So The Watch was a movie that was directed by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, but let's be honest, it probably was primarily directed by M. Night Shyamalan. I don't know, could be wrong. And yeah, it was like a horror fantasy. I actually really liked this movie a lot, mainly the first half. It was kind of exciting, the mystery. And the thing I like about, you know, M. Night Shyamalan's films is that he always had that unique mystery to it, where you're just trying to figure out what the hell is going on, why these characters are in this position. But then the second half for me was like, yeah, it wasn't great man. Like, that's why I was like, yeah, this is kind of becoming just very crap. Number 6, Abigail. I think that movie was the first time I ever watched a movie literally by myself in the cinema. It was so strange in it. So it was a very different experience. It's a movie where you got these bandits that kidnap this girl, only to eventually find out that she's actually a vampire, which is wild fam. And yeah, it was just a movie about vampires. I love vampires, you know what I'm saying? Like, who doesn't like vampires man? Vampires are like a popular subject in terms of like movies, TV shows. So yeah, I can't complain. You know, for the most part, the cast were okay. You know, some of them were unbearable to listen to and watch, but for the most part, I didn't really hate the cast. So yeah, man, it was a good movie, man. Number 5, Tarot. A lot of people actually hate the movie Tarot. I can understand why 100%. Objectively, it's not a great horror movie. But for me, when I watched this movie in the cinema, before that, I seen The Fall Guy on the same day, and I was just so disappointed because I just hated The Fall Guy movie. It was just so dead. So when I came into this movie, it was just like a nice breath of fresh air, because it was just something more exciting, actually interesting to me, especially because Fall Guy was like a action romance crap, and obviously Tarot was like horror. It was like a nice transition into my favorite genre, which is, you know, horror. Number 4, The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So I can't lie, I love this movie. This movie was very interesting, it was very entertaining. It was one of those movies where you're just like, how can you not like it? Especially if you watch the previous ones with Caesar. So yeah, I kind of was expecting to like it. I wasn't really sure what it was, if it was like a sequel, was it a reboot, was it a remake, or, you know, I wasn't really expecting anything honestly. But obviously you find out that it is like essentially a sequel, like years after Caesar died. And yeah, it was great, good action, you know, good suspense, good characters, especially the main character Noah. Noah was great, but he's definitely not a Caesar. But I still like Noah a lot though, so yeah. Number 3, Deadpool and Wolverine. I can't lie, when this movie was announced, I didn't really care too much, but closer to the date, I actually kind of was looking forward to it. I love the Deadpool and Wolverine chemistry. Hugh Jackman and, you know, Ryan Reynolds were amazing. I have to emphasize this a lot though, because those were the stars in this film, Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. If it weren't for them, it wouldn't be as good as it was. I love the cast members that we got to see. That was really fun. I love the music in this film. Number 2, A Quiet Place, Day 1. When there's a movie that I really want to watch and I'm locked in, you always have those annoying people that just talking. It was so annoying. So at times it was hard to kind of concentrate and watch the movie because everyone was just talking in it. But yeah, man, this movie was great. And for a prequel as well, it was great. As I've said multiple times, if you see my previous videos, I'm not really a fan of prequels. I think they're kind of pointless for the most part. So when I actually saw this movie, I was like, you know what? This is actually interesting, man. This is actually really good. The 2 actors were amazing. I loved how it was set in New York as well, because it was like a different environment versus the other previous films where it was kind of like in like a small type of area, not like a bigger city, you know what I'm saying? So that was a cool, I guess, add-on to the film. Number 1, Terrifier 3. Come on, man, come on. Of course this was going to be number 1, man. Of course, man. My guy, Art the Clown, yeah. Art the Clown, man. Love the character Sienna. Love Art the Clown. Art the Clown is one of my favorite slasher characters of all time. And with Terrifier 3, you know, it takes place basically a few years after the events of Terrifier 2. You have Sienna and her brother that basically, you know, have like PTSD from the, you know, events that happened to them with Art the Clown and stuff, and they're both trying to just, you know, get their life back on track. But obviously that doesn't happen because you have Art the Clown that comes back and is like, you know what, I'm gonna terrorize you guys again, fam. Simple as that. And you have to feel for these characters because like all they want is just some peace and quiet. But nah, man, nah, not when Art the Clown's around, fam. Not when Art the Clown's around. The gore was absolutely amazing, especially me being a horror fan. Come on, man. But yeah, man, those are my rankings for the 2024 movies that I saw last year. But yeah, man, let me know how you ranked your movies that you saw in 2024, man, from worst to best. But yeah, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you disagree with my rankings. And yeah, man, in a bit.